anyone who is new, welcome. My name is Chelsea, and this is Corner with Chel Chats. Welcome, man. Welcome, man. Let's start from the beginning. And let me help you fill in some things, because you may be like, who is this? The last time I talked to you guys was like before I went off to California and South Africa. So we're gonna rewind this back. So we left off with me being in California. This is where circuit riders. I was doing their 4.5-month, 5-month program, and it was for the international opportunity. Well, it was the opportunity to go international to South Africa, Mexico, Australia, and like 3 other different places, South Africa, and just different countries, going around and teaching others, basically being an evangelist, and teaching others about the gospel, about who Jesus is, and really just catalyzing other people within their countries. Now, first we had to be trained, and then we were able to go out. So that's a little synopsis of how it was. Ended up leaving my job, going long distance in my relationship, leaving my house. Y'all, yes, everything. When I felt led, I was like, all right, Father, I'm gonna go. Everything else does not matter right now to me, like compared to what you have told me. So I'm gonna do it. If I say that I love you, then I'm gonna obey. So that's a little snippet of what happened. Last video that I said. Now, I wanted to do a reintroduction because obviously a lot has happened since I was there, was sent out to South Africa, and then came back home, and it just felt like I was in a whole new world. But let's start off what happened during discipleship program. That's what it was. It was not what I expected it to be. I'm gonna be honest. I think in my head before leaving, I was so excited to dive deep in the Word, like going in, getting biblical context, we diving in. That was my understanding of it. Yes, I had gone to their summer camp that was their other like catalytic program that was only a week. And so when I got introduced to like, okay, this is how things would be, my understanding was with it being longer, there would be more intentional time for education, diving deeper in scriptures. We're learning different biblical principles, things like that. And so I guess when I first went there, mind you, I'm in my upper 20s. So being around other people who were younger than me, it was like, okay, that's all right. That's all right. Are you guys here for the same reason? That was the determining factor. We're not here to get no boy. We're not here to look cute. And just to post nice pictures. Like, we're really here because we understand the weight of learning scriptures, reading it, and now going out into the nations and basically catalyzing other people to do the same. The first couple of weeks was kind of like the foundation of how things were. You got introduced to your housemates, to your roommate. Y'all, I was living with 9, 11, 12 other, maybe 11 other women. Different age groups, different spiritual growth. It was something that I had to submit to. We didn't have our cars. And it was just like, okay. I had to ask if I want to go somewhere. Mind you, I'm in my upper 20s. So asking someone who was younger than me if I could do something, or if I could go somewhere, that was humbling. So that was one thing that I had to kind of get over with. Here I am coming from my own place, having my own car, own jobs, working things out. I'm like, okay. But now that felt completely stripped away. So that was one thing that I had to get over. Or that I had to deal with. Not even get over, but deal with through the whole process. Because that was only the beginning. And then dealing with the schedule of how things were going to be. So every week, there was a new topic. There was new speakers coming in. They're teaching us for about 3.5, 4 hours. We're going ham. We'll have worship, prayer, intercession, and then we're getting into it. We're not getting into it. We getting into it. There's no time to kill when, we are being very intentional with, getting trained before going out into all the nations. I will say that I did not really have expectations on how things were going to be. I think I just showed up, and whatever the Father was going to show me, whatever Spirit was going to show me, then I was really open to seeing what that looked like in this different environment, different stage of my spiritual life. And I was just, all right, let's just show up and see what's going on. And so being in this space with circuit riders, it was exciting. Absolutely. I mean, I'm meeting different people. Essentially it was an answered prayer. I literally prayed like, Father, I want to be able to travel for you. I love reading your word. I love being able to pray and teach and intercede and all the things. But I want to be able to also do that. I guess not in this space. Of course, there's more in detail, but I prayed, and then here was this opportunity. So I didn't want to take it for granted. I wanted to be very intentional. Y'all, I was so intentional that I was so focused on all right, let's learn about this. All right, let's just go. I was not wanting to make friends, truthfully. I just wanted to go, get the information, and then leave. And I think there's multiple layers to that. When I'm in a interesting situation where I'm now back in a house full of women, different emotional needs, different spiritual growths, backgrounds, all the things, ages of all, mindsets, all the things. It took me back to how things were in my past. And so I was so focused on just all right, I'll probably be friends with some people, or maybe cool with, and then I'm gonna keep pushing. And it's so funny because I shared that with someone who is my friend now. And she was like, what? I never would have thought you thought. Look, Chelsea was so determined. I was so determined to just get in, get out, and really it's just highlighted my thought process and how just how I deal with uncomfortable and maybe new situations. Although you pray about it, but when you're actually in it, I want to go do things in a healthy way. So it was so funny that I went through that, and my mindset has totally changed, obviously. But I'm grateful for that experience of living with that many women. Not do I ever want to do it again. But am I interested in having that opportunity again to go out and educate people and to teach people and to catalyze them? Absolutely. Maybe now under different circumstances. Now, I wanted to reintroduce myself in this page because it's going in a different direction than what I essentially thought the Father was leading me. I thought I was just going to have, 20, 45 minute Bible studies and breakdown, and then like that was kind of it. But since I've been back, I have been wanting to go deeper in scripture. What does that mean, Chels? That means I want to go deeper. We trying to go deeper. And what does that look like? It looks like reading the Bible for what it originally says. What and who was the Bible intended for? Is the context of the certain passage that we are going to be reading about, or reading like breaking down to a T. We're looking at context, we're looking at dates, we're looking at what are the other events that happened during that time. And this is really a space just to go deeper, beyond like, okay, every Sunday we hear secondhand from what the pastor is teaching us or what he is saying, and kind of keep going on moving with life. That's not how I think we are to live life and to really uphold scripture. It is a walk. Yes, it is a journey as we are being sanctified and renewed in our mind and purified in our hearts and our motives and healed. Those are very important. And I think in addition to those things that the Spirit is leading us and being produced by the Spirit, this going deeper is going to be produced by the Spirit as well, because we are now coming in proper context of how the scriptures were even created. So I think I've gotten a lot more understanding on certain passages that I have even taken out of context. And I just know that as we go along this process of learning, we are going to have some amazing revelation that the Spirit is just going to like blow our minds. And it's just like, we'll be even more on fire. To submit to the Father and to worship Him in spirit and in truth, because we now have revelation, fresh revelation that is rooted in truth. So I know that was a lot, so I'm gonna give you a breather. I'm gonna take a good little water break. You should take one too. So if you are ready for that journey to go deeper into scripture, go ahead and head over to Corner with Chel Chats on Instagram, and be sure to stay in the loop. I already put down some like fundamental principles of what this channel is about. I wanted to lay that down, so when things start popping off and you like, Chelsea, hold on, girl, and I'm like, look how I'm going through it with you. I'm going through it with you too, girl. Go ahead and head over. This is going to be an exciting time. Like, we have to prepare ourselves to read scripture, and to follow it and to obey it. That's literally why we have the Bible. We are now in covenant with the Most High. And with like the fundamental thing, the requirement to be in covenant with Him is obedience. And so, look, we both in there together. So, thank you for joining me on my reintroduction video. I shall see you in the next one. Lift them. So if we're saying that, oh, this person is, she looking a little something, who is that actually worshiping? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. But because Jesus rose and He is the life, the way, the truth, yes, we are to speak life into one another. Yeah.